central station, transit hub, landmark, touristy hotspot, all in one. This is what we want to build today here in Cities Skylines 2. And you might wonder what those buildings are on the left and the right. You will find out, so stay tuned and welcome back. I'm Chaos. Let's get started. Let's build this huge, gigantic train station here in Douglas. One of our two cities on this map, and this is the space we want to work with. It's next to our downtown on the other side of this avenue where we have the Chinatown, which is also densely populated. And I grabbed the Dutch train station and I want to sink it into the ground, which I did because I want just to make it look more interesting. And also we can run the tracks underneath the surface for a little bit. So let's try to connect everything up and then we go in and see how we can connect this train station to the rest of the city in a good way. And we will of course add the outside connections to the neighboring cities. So this really will be a influx for tourists coming to this spot, and hopefully we'll get rid of a little bit of car traffic and will improve traffic around the city. This is the hope and the idea, at least. And then I grabbed those museum right here and I want to place two of them. Those are very interesting tourist attractions. I will link those in the description. I want to integrate them somehow in our train station build and just make sure we can somehow connect those, or at least we can pretend they're connected. We can pretend they have some elevators in their columns or something like this. Let's just rearrange the color of the train station so they fit pretty good together in the end, and then we go around with some detailing. I want to start by switching up the surface around the train station, so we have maybe this cobblestone surface around. I will also grab the different grass textures right here, so this just looks a little bit better for me. And then we can add some fake elevator doors on this, and on this side right here we can add some detail into this spot, maybe a little sculptures, some benches and some bins. And then we have something interesting going on, and we will of course come back later and get more into detail with this. So we will be all around the place a little bit today, jumping from one spot to the other spot. So, and we need of course a little bit of a depot for our new trains, because I'm sure it won't be enough what we have in the city right now. Well, this curve might be a little too unrealistic. I'm not sure. Let me know if it's okay. But that's what I'm gonna do for now. So we try to connect everything up as good as we can. And remember, we still have the height difference going on. So we're going up from the train station to the depot. And then we just lay out some tracks which we might not connect to the rest of the train network today. We will concentrate on the other side, getting some train lines going on later in the video. So, but just now, let's connect it up to the country road, everything, and then we can continue detailing up and building up our space. And I want to just continue a little bit with a row house pattern which we have going on the other side of the avenue in our Chinatown. So just to have a lot of people living around the train station. It's a very central train station, sorry. And yeah, I mean, it makes sense to have a bunch of people living here. So let's try to make something interesting. Let's do the similar mirrored version on the other side. And I think this looks fine for now. It looks good. And I think we can maybe add some parking in the back of those guys, because I want to get rid of parking on this main avenue. I don't think it makes too much sense to have parking on this avenue. I want to add some trees on the sidewalk and all the good stuff. So yeah, we don't want a lot of people parking here. So let's give them some parking alternatives, and they also can park at the train station, of course. And then we go in and beautify this avenue a little bit. Put some trees and some grass right here. And I think this makes a huge difference. What do you think? Okay, welcome to Willow Heights. This is our new district, our new train station, central station district, and let's just make sure they have coverage for all the services. And then we go to the backside, I guess. It's backside, yeah, it's backside of the train station. And I want to bring in the tram line, because we have a tram around our historical district, which is on the other side of the road behind the train station, and let's build a nice tram about so the tram can get back. All right, let's tweak it a little bit, would move it, and I think this is okay. What do you think? And then let's add some notes so we can have a nice central tram spot. And then we need to connect a tram track from here. This is our market hall, this is our historic district, and try to connect it to the backside of the train station. I'm sure we can manage. This won't be too hard except this piece. All right, we can do some move it, I think, and then we go in with an advanced curve, and there we go. This doesn't look too bad, right? So we connect the backside as well, and we get some retaining walls going on, and see how we can continue. Alright, I thought we continue with some more row houses, and then we can maybe add a little park or plaza right here on the right side, and maybe some commercial stuff, just some small commercial stuff on the left side, maybe a little gas station because it's here on the avenue where a lot of people from the outside coming in and out, so maybe a little gas station. Makes a little bit of sense, it fills in the space pretty good, and maybe we can add a custom parking lot here in this corner. We can add a little plaza right there and some greenery, just extend the space of this park right here. You can just try to copy the style and make everything nice and green is the idea. Okay, back to the idea with the custom parking lot. You know I love my custom parking lots. If you know me, I have a lot of custom parking going on in the city. This is always fun to build. A little bit of a pain as well, but mostly fun. And then we just manage to squeeze in as many parking lots as we can and connect everything up with our lovely invisible roads right there. And hopefully see some cars showing up, but I'm sure they will. They need the parking since they can't park on the avenue anymore. Let's go in with some safety bollards right here, and yeah, then we can think about what we can add to this small plaza. Just some gap fillers. I found these corner pieces of the Dutch crematorium, I think. So maybe we can go with these. We can add some benches and some trees, and then I think this is enough for the space. We don't have to overdo it. It's a good space filler here. And yeah, we have the park on the other side as well. So I want to surround with the hang around area. I'm not sure if it works. Sometimes it does. Sometimes we will see some people actually hang around, but mostly it doesn't. I'm not sure. We will see. And then we go in with a bunch of imperfections. As I always do, you know it. Tire marks, dirt, all the good stuff. Okay, this space is pretty close at the downtown, so I think we can get away with some higher buildings. I thought we can get in with those Chinese apartment buildings. I mean, it makes sense. We are near Chinatown, we're near downtown. I think height-wise, this looks good so far. We will come back to detail this spot up. And now let's add some grass, add some trees, add some greenery for those spots. I think this makes sense. We don't have to build up every piece. I think we will have some green spots around train station just to cover it up a little bit. And then we can go in and add some fences as well. And then I think it's time to add the tram line. I thought just a 2-stop tram line from the market halls at the historical district to the back of the train station and back. And I think this is enough. I mean, they can then switch to trains, or they can switch to other tram lines, go around the city. And I think this is good enough. Just one little small tram vehicle on this line. And then I want to add some outside train connections to the central station. So from this town right here, we can maybe make it black and bring it back. There we go. So one train station. And let's see what we have. I mean, I have this mod trying to remember, link in the description, which you just can pick your car, and there's a lot to offer. So let's try this one. And then we go underground and come back up here at the center, the edge of the map, and connect the other city to our Willow Heights Central Union Station. And I connected also 2 more stations going around the city. This is, I think, necessary. These are the red lines. And then we have 4 train lines coming in. And we have also 2 bus lines. I just extended 2 bus lines, added another stop at the main train station. And because I want to see even more tourists right here, I was thinking about adding another tourist attraction. And I found this Maritime Museum, I think it's called. It looks pretty nice, and we are not that far away from the water, so I think it makes a little bit of sense. And I thought we can add it here at the back of the train station. I also added a new bus depot because the bus lines were complaining about not having enough vehicles. So I think this is good. This is a good space for it. And on the other side of the Maritime Museum, I added a little factory. So a little mixed area. Not the most glamorous one, but I think this is fine. We maybe will see some people coming in and visiting the new museum nonetheless. And of course, another custom parking lot. You know me, there it is. Let's get a little fence around it. And this is fine for the backside of the train station, I think. I mean, some bushes and trees, and then we are good with this side for now. Back to the train station itself, or back to the museums with those pillars. I found those walls, and I think it looks so much better adding those instead of just the gray texture right here of those pillars. It looks more interesting, more realistic, makes a little bit more sense. So let's go around, add those walls everywhere on every side of those pillars. And this is the end result. And what do you think? I like it. It looks unique. It looks iconic. I'm very happy how it turned out. And we have to go back to our apartment complex area where we added those Chinese houses right here. And I think it's just a little social housing mixed stuff right here. A lot of people living on small spaces. And I think we can just go in a little bit with some detailing, just some different stuff. We can make it look a little bit overgrown, a little bit run down maybe, and just customize it the way we want, just to integrate it into our city. And yeah, let's see what we can do. Let's just start, and maybe we can just add some empty space right here underneath those sky train tracks. I think this is a fantastic texture. And then we have one more gap to fill, basically. So this is this gap around those 3 big buildings. And I think we can just add some containers. We can add some garbage right here, some imperfections again. Make it just look very realistic and very detailed is the idea. Let's see what we can find in terms of props and decals to make it look very cool in one way. I mean, call it cool. Is it cool? I mean, in some way it is, right? And then I again use Mayor Cheek's garage set to add a little garage area right here. They also come with parking, and I want to go in and add an invisible road around it. And then we can also add some invisible parking, so we even have more parking space right there. And I think this is a cool, interesting filler right here between those big houses. Yeah, just go in with the last bits and pieces of detail around those skyscrapers. And you can see a lot is going on right here. You really feel the vibe of the downtown. A lot of people living here, a lot of foot and pedestrian traffic, a lot of car traffic as well. But anyway, let's now fill in the last bits and pieces with some detail. Okay, let's check back to our train station. You can see with over 300 passengers already waiting on our 4 train lines. So this is cool to see. It's up and running. It's getting used. I love to see this. Our inner city trains are also getting used. The tram line, not that much yet, but I'm sure we'll get there. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you liked my build. I hope I see you back here in the next episode. This will be a very special episode where I need your help. So make sure you hit the bell and come back here in the next episode of Case Hills. Have a good one. Bye bye.